Hey everybody, this is Alan. Thank you for watching. Today I'm working on my Chevy, my 94 Silverado. I went to go get it smogged and it didn't pass emissions. I did put the heat gun on the catalytic converter and apparently it was burned out. It wasn't starting the fire it's supposed to start in the front of the cat. And I talked to a tech and he says when they turn purple like that, you've cooked it. So it had me thinking, well, it's 2 years old. It's brand new. The whole system's brand new along with the headers. And well, why is it burned out? And then it dawned on me it's the computer chip. It must be the computer chip that I installed. It ran a little richer, and after I took it out, I definitely feel a performance loss. So I know it's doing something, or it was doing something, and I think it burned out my cat. So I've got a plan. I am going to cheat the system a little bit. Not only do I have my original Y pipe right there, I've got this other Y pipe out of my Suburban. You can't really see it through the crack there, but what I'm going to do is I bought this new cat and I'm going to cut it into place of this one, and then I'm going to take a piece of straight pipe and put it in place of this cat. I'm going to delete the cat out of this Y pipe. And I'm going to put this on. I'm going to go get it smogged. And then I'm going to come back and swap out the Y pipe with this guy. I'm going to plug my computer chip back in it and we're going to have fun again. And to make the swap a little faster, I went and picked up these V-band clamps. Now these ones are really awesome here. Let's see. These are PPE, and what's cool about them compared to other ones, I make sure you get the interlocking ones, so this one's a male and this one's a female, has that recess, and they just interlock. And then the clamp holds them in place. I mean, they're not even moving. This is only finger tight, and I can't get them to spin inside the clamp. And I found out I did a lot of reviewing before I figured out or decided on a brand to purchase. And a lot of the problems people are having is stripping out this bolt or the nut or both, or just destroying the clamp itself in one way or another. But after putting the two flanges together and interlocking them, and then you just place them in there, these are machined so well, they're not going to compress anymore than what you can do just placing them together. And I found if you can just, like, as much as you can squeeze this with your hands, maybe another 3/8 of an inch there down on the threads. I don't know how. I think people are over cranking them. And so all I'm going to do is just tighten it that much, and I think that's going to be fine. I don't think I'll have any leaks, because like I said already, these are just finger tight, just like that. I can't spin these around in there at all. And a lot of people complained about this nut too. I think I'm going to replace this with a different kind of lock nut, not a nylock, but something similar to this, where like the last thread just cuts into it. Maybe not, I don't know. I think I'm just going to use it. I got the cat cut off, the old purple one there. Where is it? Right there. Got the purple cat cut off. And if you get lucky when you cut, you can cut on one side of the weld or right through the middle of the weld and leave yourself a sleeve. Hopefully, you know, if the guys that installed it last time did it that way, if they left the sleeve, if they tucked it inside the cat, which they did, you can cut it and have yourself a spot to slide the new cat back into. I'm going to take the grinder and clean that up a little bit. Grind it down and then tack that in place. Then I'm going to use this piece of piping. Hopefully I can use this piece of piping. If not, I'll use that piece of piping. Tubing. I don't know. But, and then I'll extend it and then I'll weld the tube onto there. Either way, but first what I need to do is cut the piece underneath the truck still. Ow. There we go. I gotta cut that 2-bolt flange there off and weld on the female V flange. And then I'll set that on a jack stand and tuck it back up where I want it. Then I'll bolt on the Y pipe onto the headers with that tube. Hopefully longer than I need it to be will be sticking out there, and then I'll make my marks on where to cut. Take a measurement of how thick. I might just yeah, I'll make a mark on that tube right where it touches that flange maybe. I don't know, how am I gonna do that? Maybe I'll just cut it. I'll cut this piece under here with, and then not weld anything on yet, and have it sitting on a jack stand where I need it. Then I'll do the same to this guy. Weld that on, weld this on to extend it, or another piece if I need a longer piece. Then I'll put these two flanges together. Hey, and I'll put these two flanges together, measure the thickness, and cut that out of the remainder of that pipe. Alright, so here's what we got so far. We got the Y pipe cut down. I showed you that earlier. And it's sitting up in there in place. I've got the jack holding it right in place, or the stand, and then slid the cat on there, tacked it on. Got this piece of pipe from the auto parts store. That's all the longer it came. It's about 15 inches. Cleaned up all the edges. Inside there, I deburred everything when they came from, you know, the mill or whatever. There's burrs in there. Maybe I'm worrying about too much, but I want perfect airflow. So I measured those couplers, and they're 1 3/8 within the recess. And so I jacked up this end on the stand, and I've got everything mocked up where I want it to sit in the truck. And I took the measuring tape and went around, marked 1 3/8 from this edge on this pipe. And you notice it's kind of at an angle, so hopefully I can make up for that by measuring from this pipe. It'll fix this an accurate gap in the angle. Well, there's the pipe. I cut the gap out, slid those pieces in. I've got 2 tacks going on now. I don't have gas on my welder, so I'm doing this gasless. But hopefully I can still get a good seal. I'll finish up those welds. I'll weld all the way around that. And on the other side of the cat over there, we should be good to go. Got it all buttoned up. Let's see if we can get a shot of it. I forgot to get a picture while it was on the jack stands. So now it's all low to the ground. Let's see what I can see here. Ooh, dun 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 dun. There it is. And see, like I said, about 3/8, a little over 1/4 inch of threads just hanging past the bolt. And I actually kind of wiggled it, like grabbed the coupling and wiggled it up and down as I'm squeezing the clamp together. And it's optimum, man, and it is solid fitting too. Before I even put the rubber bushings on, this thing is not going anywhere. Let's see here. Where's my... But yeah, it's all done. Thank you guys for watching. Let's see if we can hear it real quick. Hey Mike, can you start this thing up for me? It's dirty. Not bad, huh? That's a MagnaFlow 40 series with 3-inch piping all the way through. 2.5-inch wide pipe and then 3.5-inch all the way. Give her a rev. Alright guys, thanks for watching again. I hope this gives you some ideas on V flanges, because I know I'm digging them. And now I just gotta make the other one. Put another flange on that after I go get it smogged. And there it is. It'll be good to go. You got any comments, please leave them. You know, I like questions. I like your input. Knowledge is power, guys. Have a good one.